We're not done.
Welcome to the campus of Everett Community College. It is time for the NWAC Big 8, the final 8 teams here in the Girls Basketball Championships. Steve Willits along with Mike Buchholz. Big game coming up here momentarily. The Big Bend Vikings with a record of 21-9. They had to travel a ways. The other team, their opponent, did not. It is the host school, the Everett Trojans, coming into this game with a record of 21 wins and 6 losses. One of these teams is headed for the Final Four, a game to be played next Saturday. The other team will watch their season come to an end tonight. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll get you the starting lineups to tonight's game and get you ready for action. Once again, you are watching NWAC basketball from Everett Community College on STSPN.com.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you. For them. Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
We know you're more. More than a number. More than living paycheck to paycheck. You're a multitasking life engineer, full of experience. That's why you belong here, where you'll find more one-on-one attention from faculty, with programs that can lead to in-demand jobs, and the support you need to get where you want to go, all at an affordable price. Get started now. Edmonds Community College, edcc.edu.
And welcome once again to NWAC basketball here on STSPN.com, live from Everett Community College. It is the Elite 8. 2 teams looking to make it into the Final Four. The Big Bend Vikings with a record of 21-9 against the Everett Trojans, record of 21-6. And joining me right now, Mike Buchholz, longtime coach in the area. Mike, you watched a lot of basketball yesterday. 2 teams that advanced into this particular round by winning yesterday. Early thoughts heading into this game?
Didn't get a chance to see either Everett or Big Bend. I did see Walla Walla and Lane. Both of those and the game after are very solid programs, but I've known head coach Chet Hoppy for quite a while of Everett, and he does a good job. And obviously Bend has played tough all season as well. They have a good record there. 20-win teams, 6 of the 8 in this bracket, and those are the ones that have advanced. So, going to be a good ball game.
And depending on what kind of stock you put into power rankings, neither one of these teams is ranked in the top 8 going into the tournament, and yet here we stand right now in the Elite 8. One of them heading on to the Final Four, and we should mention the team that wins this game tonight will play the winner of Walla Walla versus Lane, a game that we will also be broadcasting at 8 o'clock later on tonight. Those 2 teams are ranked 2nd and 3rd, so the winner of this game here is going to be an underdog. But you know what? When you're in a single elimination tournament, hey, it's 0-0 to start the game and anything goes.
Right, and Lower Columbia pulled an upset yesterday and also almost had a comeback in the previous game here against Bellevue. So it's not like the teams here are not competitive. Once you get to this round, the teams are going to be very competitive.
Starting lineups are being introduced right now. Big Bend is coached by Preston Wilkes. He's in his 11th year at the helm. They finished 3rd place in the East Conference this year behind Walla Walla and Columbia Basin. Starting lineups are going to be number 1, Sunny Martinez. She is a 5'8" sophomore from Kaysville, Utah, a graduate of Layton High School. Number 4 is Haley Garrity. She's a 5'11" sophomore from Beaverton, Oregon, Westview High School. Number 10, Leah Doherty, 5'10" freshman. She's from Rexburg, Idaho, a graduate from Madison. Number 22 is Callie Groning, 5'7" sophomore from Soda Springs, Idaho. And then number 5, who didn't get the start yesterday, Emily Allen, a 5'7" sophomore from Spanish Forks, Utah. So if you're keeping track at home, a couple of Utah residents in Oregon and Idaho. Two Idahos, two Utahs, and an Oregon. And then we look at the Everett Trojans, and a few of these girls didn't have to travel far to get here today. Starting off with number 14, Tyra Lopez. She is a 5'8" sophomore from Burlington Edison High School. Didn't you coach there once upon a time, Mike?
I did coach there. I did not have Tyra on varsity, but she was in my class and did come up through our program, so I've seen her play a lot, and she's a good ball player.
I figured she was after your time. I didn't even realize that, so very nice. So Tyra Lopez is number 14. Alexis Bickerstaff, she's a 5'9" sophomore from Ketchikan, Alaska, wearing the number 20. Number 32, Ashley Beer, she is a 5'6" freshman from Stanwood, Washington. She's a Spartan and not too far from here. Led her team or helped her team get to a state tournament last year at the Tacoma Dome. Number 42, a young lady who really didn't have to go very far, Sydney Taggart. She is a 6-foot freshman hailing from Everett High School. She is a Seagull, home of the Seagulls. And then number 51, Uju Chabagwu. She is a 5'11" sophomore from Shorecrest High School over in Shoreline. She did, in fact, win a state championship 2 years ago, and we got to watch her play quite a bit around here, also from the Wesco Conference. Taggart, Beer, and Chabagwu, all from Wesco 3A, all from the same area, and all, I'm sure, know each other's games fairly well before they even became Trojans.
And I've seen all 5 of those players play quite a bit, so.
Should mention, too, Taggart also on the school softball team. She's missing 2 games tonight to be in this tournament. We'll see how she does here, and she hopes to miss a few more softball games as she'd like to see her Trojan team continue to win. Trojans get the opening tip. Layup down low. Bickerstaff with the first points of the game, giving Everett an early 2-0 lead.
Standard 1-4 high entry, high post, back door on the wing. Defender turned, looked at the ball, got beat back door.
Everett wearing the home white uniforms tonight. Big Bend, road blue. Everett with their second possession here of the game. Taggart, one of the leading field goal shooters in all of NWAC, number 2 on the year percentage-wise. Chabagwu had 21 rebounds yesterday in their victory, and they're going to get an offensive foul called here. First foul of the game, 37 seconds in.
Apparently that was a hold on the screen. So, first foul on Chabagwu.
Chabagwu picking up the foul. Down low. Shot is missed, but hard fell down to the ground, and nice job by Everett to go and pick up their opponent. As number 4, Haley Garrity, will head to the line to shoot 2.
Following the strategy of no free layups.
As a coach, you like that strategy, right? If you're going to make the foul, if you're going to commit it, make them earn it, right?
I had some additions to that. It meant challenge the layup. It didn't necessarily mean tackle the person who was going for the layup. But in this case, there was a foul called, and shooting free throws, Big Ben.
Garrity hits the first free throw. Only a 42% free throw shooter on the year, 35 of 82. So perhaps they have a game plan coming in. As she gets down low, you're going to foul her. And it seems to have perhaps worked there as she only makes one of the 2 free throws. Taggart picked up the foul, so Taggart has 1, as does Chabagwu. Everett with a 2-1 lead here early on, first quarter. 9:04 to go here in the opening period. Taggart kicks it out to Chabagwu, open for 3. Off the front iron, ball comes down. Rebounded by Big Ben. Emily Allen pulling it down. Blue wasting very little time, kicking it down to the other end. 3 ball up and 3 ball is good. Sunny Martinez with her first points of the night.
And she was well beyond the 3-point line out there right in front of her the Everett bench, so good range.
Sunny shoots 40.1% on the year. She had 252 3-point attempts on the regular season, so certainly not a big surprise that she's out shooting it. Big Bend with their first lead of the night, 4-2. Nice pass down low. Beer with the basketball.
Man-to-man defense for Big Ben.
Chabagwu, nice job with the pass, finds Bickerstaff cutting into the lane, up and in. Alexis Bickerstaff with 4 points. And Chabagwu, you talk a lot about her rebounding ability as well as her shooting, but for a post player, a very good passer.
And when your post player can step out and make quality passes and or shots, that obviously adds another dimension as the Trojans go back door again.
Martinez, reverse layup, good. Sonny Martinez now with 5 of the 6 points here in the open period for Big Bend. I should say the last 5 points for that matter. Vikings now out to a 6-4 lead. Chibagwu, 16-foot floater, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Excellent rotation on that shot. Yeah, it looked very easy.
She's a player, and there's a nice little box on hers. Puts a shoulder into Garrity. Garrity misses the shot. I think she wanted a foul, but the referees think otherwise. Let them play through it. 6-6 tie. Taggart down low. She gets the point, but Chibagwu gets the assist. Beautiful pass from Uju.
That's her 3rd assist in the game already.
Nice offensive board there for Garrity as Allen missed the initial shot. Garrity's going to head to the line shooting 2.
And her 2nd foul as Chibagwu gets caught reaching in on that rebound. So a bit of foul trouble.
And Chibagwu was 6th in the league this year, and this is the entire NWAC. 6th in the league in points, 18.4 points per game. 7th in rebounds, 10.5. First free throw is up and in. And I think we'll keep watching this all night. I have a feeling that Everett's plan is to put Garrity at the line as much as possible. 2 for 3 thus far, though. She doesn't look like a 42% shooter to me when I watched that one go up.
No, but you're left-handed, and you didn't look like a 42% shooter to me either. So
I shoot with my right hand, though, so there's a little bit of a difference. I just write with my left hand.
Oh, okay.
I still wouldn't want to challenge her to a free throw shooting contest. Chibagwu, here's somebody I wouldn't challenge her to a 3-point shooting contest. However, she misses that shot.
It's going to be interesting to see how long Coach Hobby goes with Chibagwu as she has those 2 fouls early in the first quarter here.
Yeah, bounce pass goes out of bounds. Everett basketball. Are you surprised right now that she's still in there?
I am, but there are different strategies, meaning that I think he's taken Taggart out for a quick rest, and he may bring her back in for Chibagwu because Taggart's 6 foot tall as well and can play inside some.
You know what, Mike? We're up here high, so we occasionally might miss something, but they might have changed it because up on the board as Chibagwu misses another shot, hustling to try to get that rebound was number 12, Aloha Salem, and she misses it. Ball's going to go out of bounds to Big Bend. The board right now that we're looking at, the big board, shows Chibagwu with 1 foul, and it shows number 20, Bickerstaff, with 1. So perhaps they ended up giving that foul to Bickerstaff instead of Chibagwu.
Well, that would be a break.
And Chibagwu was saying, get that shot out of here, as Leah Doherty tried to go in on Chibagwu, and she was waiting for it. Blocks the shot away, gets it right into the hands of a Trojan. Chibagwu on the other end is going to pick up the easy bucket thanks to the pass of Salem. And Chibagwu now has 4 points on the evening. 10-8 Everett here with 6 minutes to go in the first.
I think that's going to be a travel call. The referees out there tonight, Lindsey Newman, Jacob Petz, and Taylor Main. Lindsey Newman making the travel call.
And we know, as a former coach, you love referees, right?
Of course.
You got to get along with them. You can't
have the game without them.
Although there have been times, I'm sure, where you've wanted to have games without them. Hard 3-point shot, well off the mark there, off the backboard, and catching 0 rim.
In psychology, we call that projection.
Feel like if you're saying nice things about them, nice things will happen, perhaps. We'll see. 10-8 is our score here. 5:29 to go, first quarter. The host team, the Everett Trojans, early lead. 3 ball up in the air. Swish! Bickerstaff with 7 points here in the opening period. Everett with their largest lead of the night, 13-8.
Bickerstaff with the left hand from foul line extended at top of the circle there.
Nice defense by Chibagwu. Bats the ball away into the hands of Beer. Pushing up, she's got numbers. Kicks it on over to Salem. Wisely sets the offense back up as she kicks it out to Chibagwu. Down low. Inside, missing the shot is Lopez. Salem getting another opportunity at it. Throws up an air ball. Big Bend comes away with it, and they're looking to push on the other end. Nice job getting into the lane, as that was number 10, Doherty, taking the pass from Groning. And Doherty's going to draw a foul. 4 fouls now in Everett here in the first quarter. Big Bend with 0 thus far.
Bickerstaff trying to get in there to take the charge, but a little bit late and also inside the circle, so good call by the officials.
And we're going to get our first time out of the game. We'll take a quick break in the action. You are watching NWAC basketball on STSPN.
strong.
I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination.
Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
EVCC trivia time. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? The answer at EVCC. Faculty know your name and care about your future. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. And I think a lot of folks are learning the names of some of these players out here for Everett CC as they are getting it done thus far, out to a 5-point lead. And so far, Mike, not looking bad in the process.
Neither team looks bad. They are both able to run their offenses, and both teams playing man-to-man. So it's been a well-played game so far, on both sides.
Free throw attempt by Doherty. Hits the first one. Big Bend, 4 of 5 here in the first quarter at the free throw line. That last call, by the way, called on Bickerstaff. She now has 2.
And Taggart has come back into the game, in this case replacing Bickerstaff.
And it looks like Nakia Edwards has checked into the game for Everett for the first time tonight, taking the place of Bickerstaff as well. Edwards, a 5'4" guard from LaConner. Turnover, here comes Big Bend, pulling up from the shoulder of the free throw line and hitting is number 22, Callie Groning. Her first bucket of the evening, and all of a sudden Big Bend on a little bit of a roll coming out of the timeout on a 4-0 run, cutting the Everett lead down to 1.
Yeah, Everett turned the ball over, a little bit of a lazy pass into the high post as that shot goes awry for the Trojans.
Edwards missing the 3 ball. Big Bend wasting very little time. Chibagwu says no, don't think so. She blocks the shot, passes it ahead to Salem. Salem over to Taggart, easy bucket.
Well done, because there was a hand in the passing lane and she lobbed it over, and immediately Big Bend panics and just hucks the ball over to the Everett bench. So Everett going to get another opportunity here, but nice job with, I thought the defender had her hand in the passing lane, instead threw the teardrop over the top.
And very nicely done. Taggart, we should mention too, was at PLU last year. She initially went there to play softball and decided to leave this year to come back and play for her hometown team, and seems to be liking that decision thus far. Chibagwu with a shot and misses it. I have a feeling we're going to get something called down low there, as it didn't appear to be any contact. Oh, I guess so. The Chibagwu was fouled on the shot, on the fadeaway. They're going to call that one on number 4. That's Garrity, her first foul against Big Bend here today. Chibagwu hitting the first free throw. That gives her 5 points here in the opening period.
Well, she did come up unusually short on that shot. I did not.
I attributed it to the fadeaway, but I guess not.
Right. And she makes both free throws. She has a very, very nice shooting touch.
Yeah, Chibagwu, not a bad night last night. 18 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists. She had a triple-double. There was one downfall to her game. She was 1 of 9 from three-point line. There's somebody who's not 1 of 9 from the 3. That's Callie Groning. She hits her first tray there, giving her 5 points in the opening period. 17-15 is the score.
Nice transition by the Vikings as they go to the wing quickly and drain the 3 ball.
And for Chibagwu once again gets it over to Salem. Swings it back out. Uju trying for Taggart there. Taggart might have touched it last. She did. Nice defense. Doherty getting a hand on it. Just ricocheted it enough to where Taggart tipped it out of bounds, and Big Bend will take over.
Yeah, turnover there. 2-2-1 full court pressure by the Trojans.
Able to break that is Garrett. He gets the ball ahead. Big Bend could either tie or take the lead right here.
You notice they're a little more hesitant to try the middle there with Chibagwu in there.
16-foot floater, misses.
Nice outlet.
It's Maggie Strom, number 13, who checked into the game at the last break. Chibagwu once again up top, looking down low for Taggart. Tried to float it over the head of 2 defenders. Succeeded in getting it over their head. Unfortunately for her, it traveled a little too far and went out of bounds.
Well, one of the things that you take a look at from the offensive end as you're making a pass, can your teammate do anything with the ball once they catch it? Taggart was double-teamed inside, and she was below the basket. Even if she made the catch, she was going to have a tough time making a play with that, so it would have been better served to go to another option, kick it to the wing, look for something else.
It's almost pressing to try to get it to one player a little too much at that point, isn't it? Number 4, Garrity with the ball, looking down low. Ball gets knocked away. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. 2:14 showing on the game clock here, first quarter. Everett once again with a 17-15 lead in the Elite Eight. One of these teams looking to punch a ticket into the semifinals, which will be played here next weekend.
Everett staying with the man-to-man. Nice power move right there by Dockery. Spun back, got to the 45-degree angle off the left block there and banked it in.
Doherty with her first field goal of the game. She averages close to 11 points per game this year on the season. Chabagwu open 3. Still having a little trouble hitting that shot there. Only one three-pointer made over the last 2 days for her. On the other end, driving right to the hoop is Doherty. She misses the shot. Garrity getting a look. She also can't connect. Everett coming down with the rebound, pushing forward. 17-17 tie. Chabagwu, quick pass to Taggart. And for the second time in about 3 possessions, a little bit too far.
And 3 out of 5 possessions, 3 turnovers by Chabagwu, and she's going to go have a seat on the bench and think that over a little bit. Right idea on that. Had an opportunity with the Taggart cutting to the hoop, but the pass was off target.
And as a coach, you certainly don't want to discourage them from those passes, right? And what do you tell a player when they start to kind of get into a rut with those turnovers? I guess each player's a little bit different, obviously.
Well, sure. You want them to, again, things that you're thinking about is, are you passing your teammate into trouble? Was she open? Are you forcing the pass? All of those kinds of things come into play.
Big Ben getting 3 different looks at shots there as Doherty had a couple of looks. Finally, Groning taking a 3-pointer. She misses it, and we're going to get a travel called on the other end. So Everett once again with yet another turnover.
A little bit of happy feet there on the catch for Itadarat as shuffled her feet there on the side.
So that's Skyline Itadarat, a name that we've been waiting to say all evening, right? Marysville Pilchuck High School. Also right up the road here, about 10 miles north. Yet another travel, this time on Big Ben, so it'll go the other way. Everett basketball with 53 seconds left in the opening half period.
Lots of local talent here on the Everett Trojan basketball team.
It's always interesting to look at the makeup of these teams, too. Some teams go completely off the board and they're multi-state and going near and far to get players, and then you got a team like Everett as Taggart hits the 12-footer and gives Everett the lead once again. Everett, who seems to have decided that they want to keep a lot of it in-house and get local talent from around the area. And they have a little bit of a mixture, too, when you start to look at their roster. Certainly they've Salem coming from Hawaii. They've got Bickerstaff from Ketchikan, Alaska. LaConner, not exactly right up the street, but certainly within the state of Washington. But the rest of the roster, all Washingtonians.
I can see LaConner from my house. I'm on the north end of Camino Island.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, it's not that far away.
And they're going to count the basket. Taggart getting down low.
Taggart playing tough tonight.
Has a chance to give Everett a 5-point lead here with 15 seconds left. Camino Island, so you're not exactly a hop, skip, and a jump here either, though.
No, it's not that far away.
How many miles are you from here, do you think?
Well, now you're asking me to think about mileage. So
well, I don't want you to get exact on me, but
yeah, it takes me about, if the traffic is good, which is rare, but 35 minutes to get here. So it's not bad. I'm on the north end of the island.
Ball bounces off the front of the rim. Taggart missing the shot.
And of that, about 15 minutes of that to get to the freeway. So
if you get the right view, it's worth it though. Shot is missed. 2 seconds left in the quarter. Beer throws up the long half quarter, almost hit it off the front iron. However, Everett does still have the lead. They will go into the break with a 21-17 lead after the first quarter of play. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching STSPN.com.
You're more than a number, more than living paycheck to paycheck. You're a multitasking life engineer full of experience. That's why you belong here, where you'll find more one-on-one attention from faculty, with programs that can lead to in-demand jobs, and the support you need to get where you want to go, all at an affordable price. Get started now. Edmonds Community College, edcc.edu.
I'm Danny Horton, and I'm an STCU member. The windstorm of 2015, who doesn't remember that? They had no power, were the heaters, the horse trough was a 600-pound block of ice. STCU stepped up. I went straight down. I got the loan I needed. If it hadn't been for STCU and the ability to provide everything I needed, where would I have been? I'm Danny Horton, and STCU is here for good.
And welcome back once again to Everett Community College, the home of the Trojans. And right now the Trojans are more than making themselves at home. A 21-17 lead over Big Bend after the first quarter. Mike Buckholz, takeaways from the first 10 minutes of play.
Well, I thought it was well played by both teams. Big Bend turned the ball over a little bit more. Some of those unforced errors, trying to throw that home run ball down the sideline. But other than that, they've been able to execute their offense. Good interior defense by the Everett Trojans for the most part.
Big Bend taking their time opening possession. 17-foot floater gets it to go. Sydney Bishop checking in for the first time tonight. The 6'1" freshman from American Fork High School in Pleasant Grove, Utah. She gets herself on the board. Cuts the Everett lead in half, 21-19, and almost gets a steal on the other end. Chibagwu down low. Misses the shot, but draws contact. She'll head to the line for two.
And again, those circles, those half circles underneath the basket, they didn't used to have those back last century when I coached and played down there. So good indication. Close to an offensive foul, but can't be within those circles.
As a longtime basketball guy yourself, a player and a coach, are you a fan of the circles, or would you just assume not see them in there?
No, I'm okay seeing the circles. I remember taking a charge from a really big, strong young man and not getting the call and asking the ref, and he said, "Son, you're under the basket. You're not going to get that call." I said, "I wish you would have told me that before I got flattened."
Yeah, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
3 of 4 for Chibagwu from the free throw line here tonight. Spin move into the lane, 11-footer for Doherty.
Yeah, a couple of quick spin moves. She's got some quickness off the dribble there, and nice job of getting her feet set and making the hoop.
Doherty now with 6 points tonight. 22-21. We've got a good game so far. Chibagwu looking to extend the lead and does. First 3 of the game for her. Give her 10 points on the evening now. Everett once again extending that lead, 25-21, second quarter.
Well, Big Bend has brought Bishop in at 6'1" to try to slow Chibagwu down with those shots, and got the rebound with her elbows out and caught one of her teammates in the chops.
Yeah, I was just noticing that nice move down low there. That's Lopez with her first points of the night, 27-21. That looked like it hurt. They're not stopping the game, but Nakia Edwards, as you just mentioned, getting an elbow from her teammate Chibagwu on that last rebound, and she was feeling a little bit to make sure all her teeth were intact, and apparently they were intact. There's the 3 ball is Kaylee Groning with her second tray of the game, giving her 8 points for the night.
And back and forth we go. Groning answers that hoop by Lopez. Lopez was a 1,000-point scorer, by the way, at Burlington Edison High School.
Oh, wow. They could use a few of those here tonight. Chibagwu off the back iron. Nice job of getting the rebound by guess who? Tyra Lopez, and the Burlington Edison graduate will head to the line for 2 free throw attempts.
Well, it did take her a whole career to do that. It didn't happen
I was hoping
night.
It wasn't in one night.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I wouldn't have minded. That would be quite the record if she could do it.
Sure.
Jim seems to have gone rather silent here as she gets ready and hits the first free throw.
Interesting that Everett does not put anyone on the free throw lane while the free throws are being taken.
That's a good point. As Lopez, by the way, an 84% free throw shooter on the year, 37 for 44. So perhaps not the ideal player to foul if you're looking to not have a team convert against you. And she hits both free throws, and then Big Bend almost turns it over on the inbound.
Now Martinez looked up a little bit and lost the handle on the ball, but got it back and made a nice move down the floor.
Underhand layup, up and in. Garrity figures if I can't go overhand on Chibagwu, I'll go underneath. Not only does she get the basket to go, but also draws contact, and she'll get the end one coming up as Chibagwu picks up her second.
Well, that was a nice move, and rather than make that move going into Chibagwu. She dove in and then created a little space by moving out. Took the contact and has an opportunity for the and one.
Bounces around a little bit, finally drops in. Dirty now 4 for 5 at the free throw line. 29-27 score. As you get another substitution. Alexis Bickerstaff with those 2 fouls early in the first quarter. I should say midway through the first quarter. Checking back in for the first time this period. Looking to score right away. Puts it off the backboard, misses it. Chibagwu goes up, almost gets the rebound. Doesn't initially get it, but gets a takeaway. Drives right into the lane. Baseline, up and in.
That was a slick move, very, very quick as she moved out, and the ball was mishandled a little bit by Big Ben, and she took it to the corner. And there's a nice drive by one of the Vikings there, Groning.
Yeah, she saw her teammate do it on the last possession and figured if it works for her, if Garrity can do it, I can do the same, and it's exactly what she does. Big Ben with 2 underhand scoop layups in 2 consecutive possessions. Bickerstaff loses the ball, tries to throw it over to Chibagwu. Doesn't work. Here comes Big Bend on the other end.
This is a good matchup.
Martinez with a long 3 and nothing but net. Big Bend back in the lead. First time in a while, 32-31.
Yeah, definitely back and forth. Well matched. Lopez, jumper on the way.
This is the shot. Martinez averages 13.3 points per game, so we know she can light it up. We mentioned earlier, 252 three-point attempts on the season. The ball was almost tipped away by Chibagwu. Big Bend able to keep the ball. Vikings still swinging it around. Looking for yet another 3. This one, however, not quite on target. Chibagwu comes down with another rebound.
She does a nice job of reading where the ball is going to come off on the misses. And then that allows her to trail and make some passes, such as that one, which just
Beautiful
got
pass.
missed.
Bickerstaff couldn't quite connect. Beer goes up, off the backboard and in.
Both teams sharing the ball. We got a technical foul, and I believe that also is going to count as a personal foul. It's on number 51, Chibagwu.
That would be her 3rd foul if that is the case. Chibagwu with her hands out as though to plead her case. And Mike, I was looking underneath the basket, so I didn't see what happened there. Chibagwu made the initial pass to Bickerstaff.
Well,
she was out on the perimeter.
I think it was a verbal action as opposed to, grabbing someone or something like that. She made the pass and was just standing there and said something. So
just wondering what the verbal exchange would have been. She was not anywhere near the play at that point, as free throws will be taken by Doherty.
So that is now her 3rd. Coach Hovde pleading his case. It's going to sound like the Bobby Fuller 4 song, I Fought the Law, and the law won.
Yeah, once that technical is called, you don't get them back. It's what's done is done. And like you said, that's kind of a double-edged sword there for them. Not only do they have Chibagwu now on the bench with 3 fouls, but they also give up 2 free points to Big Bend, in turn giving them the lead, and now they've got the possession as well.
I did see a technical that was taken back this year.
Did you really?
On a very rare occasion. The referees got together and huddled up and discussed it and took it away.
And so maybe Chibagwu was thinking that could happen here. Fortunately, it did not. 16-foot floater, swish. Groning. She now has 7 points in the second quarter alone. Big Bend lead out to 3 right now, 36-33.
Nice outside shooting by the Vikings.
They are a team that is not afraid to shoot it, that's for sure. Bickerstaff into Taggart, into the lane. Taggart's ball bounces around and drops through.
Shooting touch, and there's the home run ball again. And once again, it is a turnover. I think they should get away from that. It's just a little bit too long. If you hit your player over half court, it's good to go down the sideline because then you can run cutters down the middle of the floor. I don't like the long pass down the middle because if you're running full speed, if you think about it in football terms and you're down the middle, you have to turn around, catch it, be able to catch it, and then dribble at that. And it's just a better angle from the side. And
yeah, you think it's tough for football, baseball, softball. They don't have to actually dribble it once they catch it, do they?
Or they might not have to. You might have to go right up with the shot. A little contact there.
Yeah, Beard, nice move there.
Nice. Very good move.
Kind of put her shoulder down a little bit.
This is a well-matched game. I like the game. It's obviously close, and both teams playing man-to-man.
Should mention the second time that these two teams have played each other this year is getting undercut on the play is number 22, Groning. These two teams played each other back on December 9th, a game that Everett won 91-86, so certainly a high-scoring affair and a close game at that. So you knew coming into this one that more than likely we were going to have a showdown, and that's exactly what we've had thus far. Lead changes, a lot of action going on, a lot of fun. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll get you the rest of the second quarter underway. You're watching STSPN.com.
My name is John Archuleta, and I'm a loan service bankruptcy officer with STCU. I help members that are struggling with their financial obligations. A lot of times people feel as if they're not good enough. Their finances are telling them that they should have known better. Our goal really is the financial health and well-being of the member. We are our members. Our members are us. We don't have investors here. We're not protecting the investor's bottom line. No matter what's going on, we're dealing with people's lives. I'm John Archuleta, and STCU is here for good.
WWCC is affordable. Find your way. Attend part-time. Direct transfer. Join the fun at WWCC.
Jet City Roller Derby brings the sport of roller derby to Snohomish County. Tickets for Jet City's 11th season are now available with doubleheader bouts at Edmonds Community College. Featuring a family-friendly environment and a beer garden, find a skater handing out flyers to receive a discount off entry to the next bout. Jet City Roller Girls. Are you a roller girl fan? Are you a roller derby fan, I should say?
I used to be back when it was on the Bay City Bombers back in the 60s before you were born. We used to love watching that on TV. We only had 3 channels, so.
It's made a comeback the last few years. I know the very talented ladies there participating in that sport. So.
I'm in. Let's go.
Let's do it. Until then, though, we're going to get back to this game. Do they call the travel? They did. I was about to announce Big Bend had retaken the lead, but that is not the case.
Yeah, nice move, but dragging the pivot feet, skipping through there, going on walkabout. Lindsey Newman making the call.
Not permitted, right?
Former star from South Whidbey High School, now officiating.
Oh, there we go, the Falcons. 4:30 to go here. Second quarter, 3-ball up and in.
Lots of shooters on both teams. You mentioned that shootout that these two teams had earlier, though. It's fun for spectators to see those.
Now Lopez with 7 points, all coming here in the second quarter. 40-36 lead. Wasting no time answering is Doherty. She gets down there. Speaking of somebody with a lot of points in the second quarter, she has 6 now in the quarter.
Yeah, listed as a guard, but she's had several nice little post-up moves in there with that quick spin.
Long 3-ball up and in. Aloha! Aloha Salem with her first 3 of the game, and right down on the other end, Garrity missing the shot, a scramble for it. Goes all the way down the court to Salem. She kicks it over to Bickerstaff, back to Salem. Reverse layup, leaves it a bit short. Big Bend, long court pass, picked off by Taggart. Mike, you said you don't like those passes, and that's why right there.
Well, they did complete one just a moment ago there, but Sydney Richard Sherman Taggart stepped in there and intercepted that one. Had a hand check going on there.
On a night that number 25 gets released from the Seahawks, you had to throw that in there, huh?
Well, I don't really know what to say. Is it a business or is it a game? And every time I think it's a game, it turns out to be
it's both at that level.
It's a business, yeah. So.
But you're right. That was kind of a Richard Sherman move right there.
Box formation, out of bounds play, screen to screener, well defended by Big Bend.
Taggart once again down low, floats that one up, misses it. Bickerstaff trying to get the rebound. Can't quite come away with it. We mentioned earlier, Taggart second in the entire NWAC in shooting percentage. 56.7% from the field this year.
Yeah, I've known her parents for quite some time, Mike Taggart and Erica, and I'm sure they're here tonight.
Mike was working the scores table at the last game. I asked him right before the game a moment ago as I saw him, and that shot is missed by Strom. 3-ball up in the air. 2 players colliding from the same team, the Vikings there, as Garrity goes down to the court hard. Fortunately, she's able to get back up. Yeah, we saw Mike Taggart working at the scores table last game. I ran into him just before we went on the air, and I said, are you heading back down to the scores table to work this game? And he said, no, I'm going to be up in the stands yelling at the refs. So,
yeah.
Typical dad, right?
Okay. I coached against him in the B League decades ago.
Nice move by Bickerstaff, rolls around and pops out. Everett was looking for their largest lead of the night if they'd been able to convert, and we get a travel there. Doherty trying to decide if she wanted to pass or dribble, and when you think about it long and hard enough, you start to shuffle those feet, and they move before the brain tells them what to do, and all of a sudden you're traveling.
I get the sense that Big Bend is doing that old adage, and be quick but don't hurry, but they're trying to be quick and hurrying a little bit too much. Got caught with several travels and turned the ball over, throwing the long passes. And, maybe that's part of their game, and they've been doing that all year. I haven't seen them, but a lot of turnovers here that's kind of hindering their game a little bit. If they have one weakness, it's so far been the turnovers.
Edwards missing a 3-ball for Everett. Back on the other end, the Vikings looking to cut into that 5-point deficit. Passing the ball around nicely. Groning getting into the lane, floats a 12-footer up, misses. Taggart with the rebound. Everett looking to go in transition as Ashley Beer pushes forward. Taggart, long shot inside the 3-point line. Misses it, has a chance to get a rebound. It bounces off. Doherty ends up coming away with it. Driving down the right side, shuffles the feet, loses the basketball. It goes out of bounds and turns it back over to Everett.
Now, Doherty had an opportunity that time as Everett did not really rotate back quickly on the outside shot and was trying to figure out what she was going to do and mishandled the ball. Once again, really an more or less unforced turnover by Everett, or by Big Bend, I should say.
1:51 to go, first half, 43-38. Everett in the lead, looking for more. Taggart misses the shot.
Everett going to the 4 out and 1 in, trying to run the high-low, get Taggart on the post up, and just had a couple of misses here.
Groning 3-ball,
wow.
Swish. 10 points in the quarter for her. 15 for the game. She has 3 threes on the night.
I was going to say the 3-point shooting is one of the things that the good shooting is keeping them in the game. It solves a lot of your issues if you have people that can fill it up.
Edwards looking to drive into the lane, floats one up, misses it. Edwards comes away with the basketball again. Groning getting a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds, and Everett will keep it here with 1:17 to go in the half.
Edwards driving into the key and got herself double teamed. Sometimes, the guards, they get in there and you don't really understand what your options are, and then you feel like you need to force one up. So she forced that last shot. You better serve, just keep your dribble and get out of there and look for your next option instead of shooting it up over 2 people.
Bickerstaff right down the middle of the lane, misses the shot. Garrity comes away with it. Now down to the 1-minute mark here to go in the first half.
Good look, good attack on the rim. As a coach, you like to see that. Of course, you want the finish, but the path was there.
Big Bend down by 5 just a few moments ago with a chance to tie or take the lead. Shot is blocked. Perhaps that was a pass. Either way, Ashley Beer gets a hand on it, comes away with the basketball.
They're running that old school weave. A lot of schools are employing that now, trying to get a path to the basket.
Edwards gets it down low to Taggart. Wisely pulls it back out and gives it back to Edwards. 12 to go on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock. Taggart, nice move to get around her opponent, puts it up, misses the shot. Shot clock is now off. Big Bend into the corner. Emily Allen drives, kicks it out. Shot is missed. 8 seconds to go here in the half. Ball bouncing around on the ground loosely. Down to 4 seconds. Groning going to put up the long 3. This would give them the lead. Misses the shot. And we've come to the end of a very exciting first half of action. A game with all sorts of twists and turns, technical foul, lead changes, a little bit of everything. And what it all ends up being at the end is a 43-41 Everett lead as we head to the break. We're going to take a break ourselves right now. You are watching STSPN.com.
Training is definitely making myself better, but I know that it's going to end up making my teammates better.
You have to know your teammate and know what they need.
The cohesion on the field and off the field is what makes everyone strong.
Being on a team, you know it's not just you out there.
I would do anything for the player next to me, behind me, in front of me.
Practicing day in and day out, trying to be the best me so they can be the best them. It's like a sisterhood that you have with those girls.
It's just really empowering. They're all doing crazy things.
and you want to be like them and you want to push yourself like them. Motivates me to work harder, to get faster, quicker.
Pushing each other so hard, all for the same goal. And then when you accomplish it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Once you tap into that, I think you're unstoppable.
And welcome back to Everett Community College. There we are. We're now on the screen. And joining us right now from the Lane Titans, the game that's coming up after this one here against Walla Walla tonight, we have number 2, Amber Lease, and number 4, Rachel Fielder. Did I say the name right?
Yes.
As we just had them come up a moment ago. And ladies, first of all, thanks for coming up. I know it's game time here. Are these interviews tough to do when you're trying to get ready for a game, or in some ways does it kind of take your mind off things and kind of let you ease into things?
I'd say we think it's pretty tough a little bit.
Would you?
Yeah.
Rachel, what about you? What kind of a pregame ritual are you usually doing?
Oh man, I'm just thinking about what we got, thinking about our game plan and what we're trying to do.
And what you've got is a very tough opponent in front of you, a Walla Walla team that doesn't lose very often, hardly ever this year, and a team that has beaten you twice already this year. And so, Amber, what do you need to do differently? I know you've lost to them already this year. What did you not do in that game or those games that you need to do tonight?
So we played them at the very beginning of our season, and right now we are a completely different team compared to the team we were at the beginning of the year. And I think that we just need to play to our full potential, and I think they'll be surprised.
So what do you mean when you say you're a different team? In what sense? Is it personnel? Is it just the way in which you're scheming things?
Just the way that we kind of have meshed together and are playing together more as a team. And I think as a unit, we're playing our best basketball together.
And Rachel, for you, what do you think one of the keys to the game is tonight if you're going to get to the Final Four?
I think we got to take care of the ball and rebound.
It's that simple, right?
That's easy.
Now, how has the trip been to Everett for you? I mean, I know I'm looking at you right here. Amber, you are from Oregon, and Rachel, you are from Idaho.
I am.
You've been here before, obviously, for the tournament, but have you been up to the Snohomish County area before? Is it kind of a unique experience for you? Are you having a good time at the tournament?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a good opportunity for us to get to know one another a little bit better as well. So it's definitely the longest trip we've taken all year, but it's definitely worth it.
I mean, do you get a chance to have a little fun while you're on this trip? Obviously, it's a business trip, and you're going to take care of business first and foremost, but during the day while you're passing time, is it just a chance to kind of hang out with the rest of the team?
Yeah, it's definitely some team bonding, but it's a business trip.
Very nice. So we're going to let you get back to this game, but again, best of luck. We're going to be broadcasting that game. It's coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, it is Lane versus Walla Walla. Amber, Rachel, thank you very much for coming up, and best of luck tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and let them go. When we get back, we'll catch you up on some stats from the first half. Again, Everett leading Big Bend 43-41. You're watching STSPN.com.
Historic, unique, exciting. As challenges continue to test the mettle of Americans, your community has to depend on willing citizens just like you to answer the call and respond to local disasters and other times of crisis. You may be surprised to find out who we are and what we do. In fact, it could actually be your story too. The Air National Guard.
From the arrival of the first colonies in the New World until today, communities across America have depended on their own local patriotic citizens to be available for extraordinary challenges as a part-time militia guard. For over 300 years, they have been in every war and rushed to the scene of every natural disaster. At the turn of the 20th century, when airplanes were used for various military needs, the state National Guard units flew for domestic use as well as preparing for wartime needs.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
It soon became clear that the professional use of aircraft was very important to the United States. After World War II, Congress created the United States Air Force. and transformed the aviation units at local guard units into the Air National Guard. Now, in more than 130 communities across the United States, the Air National Guard covers a wide variety of jobs, nearly 200 part-time and full-time career opportunities. Each location can host any number of unique missions, and each one of these missions includes many exciting jobs waiting for you to master.
As our name suggests, air means you could be involved with aviation efforts, including space and cyberspace, volunteering for both state and federal needs. An excellent example is the Combat Air Patrol mission. The units assigned to this vital mission have fighters that are on alert, ready to scramble at a moment's notice, protecting local communities from aircraft entering unauthorized airspace. But not just pilots are involved. Munition specialists, aircraft mechanics, and airfield operations specialists are needed to keep these missions flying.
Nowadays, everything is very high quality electronics and very digitized. So what I do is I maintain and make sure these F-16s have the correct components, have the highest upgraded digital systems installed.
In recent years, through remote technologies.
And welcome back once again to the Walt Price Center here at Everett Community College. We are now joined by two members of the Walla Walla Warriors. And with us right now, Taylor Turner and Teresa Aycock. Ladies, first of all, thank you for coming on with us. Big game tonight. You're trying to get to the Final Four. And really for the Warriors so far this season, it's been kind of an easy journey, or at least it looks like it on paper. Certainly you've only lost one game, and that was well into the early part of the season. So I'll just ask right away, how do you keep yourself focused when you get to a tournament like this, knowing that even though you've beaten a team like Lane twice already this year, on any given night they can get you, right?
Right. I think the key is to stay focused. We have a game plan for every game, and I mean Lane and us are a completely different team, so it's a completely new ball game.
And Teresa, for you, take me through the first two times you beat Lane this year. Takeaways from those two games. Have you gone back and watched video this morning or this afternoon trying to get prepared, or do you already kind of remember what those games from earlier?
So we kind of remember what we did, but we definitely watched a lot of film to begin with, like last week a ton. We watched the highlight and Lane to get prepared, but we know what they're going to do. So.
Is it a good thing to have such a large winning streak coming into a tournament like this? I know I've talked to other coaches and players in the past that have told me that in some ways it's almost, it can be kind of to their benefit if they do take a loss maybe late in the regular season because it gets them refocused. How does this team avoid not going down that road, perhaps?
We just got to stay focused, know our goal and know our limits and know what we can do. So.
And I asked the other two girls from Lane this, I'll ask you the same question. On a trip like this, you're far away from home. I know obviously you're here for business. You're here to win a championship. Are you able to kind of enjoy the moment while it's happening and taking place? And maybe what are some of the things that this team is doing over the course of their trip up here to Everett to enjoy the situation as well?
Absolutely. We love our hotel life. We all hang out, watch basketball games. We're constantly watching basketball. But we like to go eat, socialize. We went to the mall, walked around, got out of the hotel room. Just stayed active, but stayed focused.
And Teresa, same thing for you. Are you watching a lot of basketball while you're here, or at some point are you just so fixated on playing it that it's hard to sit and watch? Is it easy for you to sit in the stands and watch the other teams play?
I mean, it's not bad, but knowing we're gonna play, so yeah, it's not bad. But yeah.
And a big game coming up again, 8 o'clock tonight. The Walla Walla Warriors heavily favored to win this tournament, but they need to get out there on the court and actually take care of business first. So again, Teresa, Taylor, thank you very much for the interview and best of luck tonight.
Thank
you.
And
Red Lion Hotels Corporation is built to thrive. With innovative programming and in-the-know staff, our hotel brands offer guests great stays and a chance to immerse in local culture. Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inn & Suites are better than ever. For travelers who want to get lost and discover adventure, we open the door to the best local experiences. We have reinvented the loyalty program. Introducing Hello Rewards, the first recognition-based loyalty program that encourages members to go further, fly higher, travel better, with tailor-made rewards. And we're not stopping yet. Presenting Hotel RL, our newest hotel brand. Inspired by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest, an uplifting, relaxed atmosphere, a staff that loves what they do. For adventurers at heart, Hotel RL will inspire an amazing journey. Our future has never been brighter. 3 strong brands, an expanding portfolio, industry-leading innovation with turnkey solutions, simple fee structures, areas of protection, continued support from day one. We make partnerships easy. Reach a new breed of traveler with RLHC.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye? That when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
All right. See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
And welcome back once again to the Walt Price Center here at Everett Community College. The Elite Eight taking place right now in the NWAC tournament. And the home team, the Everett Trojans, with a very slim 2-point lead, 43-41 over the Big Bend Vikings. We're just about ready for second half action. Everett being led by the 12 points in the first half of Uju Chabagwu. Sydney Taggart, number 42, had 10 points. 7 points each from Tyra Lopez and Alexis Bickerstaff. 4 points from Ashley Beer. And 3 points from Aloha Salem. We'll get to the rest of the points here for Big Bend in just a moment. Everett with the first possession of the half. Chabagwu looking down low, off the backboard, rims off. Rebound grabbed by Garrity. Big Bend with a chance to either tie or take the lead. Reading you the Big Bend points from the first half. 15 points, the leading scorer for either team. That's Callie Groning, number 22. Shot is off. Offensive board momentarily and finally grabbed by Lopez. Groning has 15 points. Leah Doherty, number 10, has 10 points. Sonny Martinez, 8 points. Haley Garrity with 6 points. And Sydney Bishop with 2 points. Mike Buckholz joining us, doing a little running there to get some stats for us. We appreciate that. 3 ball up, 3 ball in. Number 14, Lopez with yet another tray, her second of the game.
Both teams with good balance on the scoring. Both teams doing a good job of sharing the ball, still playing man-to-man. Trying to run the floor as I'm running the stairs.
Speaking of running the floor, you're looking at these second quarter numbers, 24-22, Big Bend outscoring Everett. That's a track meet right there.
Well, I did the math here, so I had that. That's the one stat.
That's the one stat we had.
Yeah, that's the one stat.
Other than points, obviously. Anything jump out at you when you were looking at the stats a moment ago?
Well, I wasn't looking at them. I had to run down and run back up, and did not have my readers on.
I guess so.
I did get some information on why the technical foul was called.
Oh, there we go. Please enlighten us. Is it good stuff? Do we?
No.
Can we repeat it on air? That's
yes.
With technicals, you always have to ask, right?
The comment was made after the basket when the shot went. The comment was made and one.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. That's the rumor.
Chibagwu, nice backdoor pass, gets it over to Bickerstaff, kicks it out to Lopez, misses the shot. Rebound by Doherty.
From a reliable source.
Did you go straight to the coach, I'm guessing? I know you and Coach Hobdy have known each other for quite a while. He's been at the helm for 33 years now at Everett. Doherty's shot missed. She had a nice look along the
Taggart comes down with it, yeah.
left side. Taggart again pulling it away. Chibagwu, touch pass, beautiful! You got two beautifuls on that one as Taggart, the recipient of just a gorgeous Chibagwu pass.
Runs down the lane, passes it ahead, gets it back, and boy, playing hot potato with a beautiful pass. And the answer, as Big Bend has been doing all game long, coming back and laying it in.
Garrity with a nice reverse layup. And Chibagwu, I'll tell you what, I mean, I remember watching her in high school, some of her overhand cross pass, long court passes, as Bear gets that one knocked away. She can throw a pass on a dime from 80 feet out, and then she can come down on a small short pass and just touch it so quickly and so softly that it's just unbelievable. Her game is well-rounded. I've got to think that four-year schools are looking at her going, why did we not recruit her harder out of high school?
Doherty with the block shot there. Well, you know, basketball is an art and the science, and she seems to have been able to put both of those together.
And she seems to have maybe picked up her fourth foul. Let's see if they call it on her here.
She did not. The blocking foul was called instead. Is that Ashley Beer that's shaken up a little bit underneath the basket. And Chibagwu did reach in, but Beer underneath the basket, not out.
And I think the coach will gladly trade that at this point. Beer with 3 fouls. She and Chibagwu are both in that category right now. First free throw attempt is up and off. That's Leah Doherty missing her first free throw of the night. She was 4 for 4 in the first half.
5'10" freshman, as we mentioned earlier, listed as a guard, but also has some slick moves inside as well. She makes 1 of 2.
Gives her 11 points here on the night. 48-45. Everett over Big Bend.
1-4 high set.
Chibagwu once again getting to the hoop.
Yeah, got it on the right elbow and took the angle to the left block, and nobody stepped in and helped and just made it look easy.
Nice job by Big Bend looking for the play they need. Spinning all the way around. Full 360 and throwing the ball up is Garrity. Initially, I thought, oh, maybe not her best move. Might be about to travel, might about to make herself dizzy. Neither of which happened. She ends up getting the basket.
Well, you know, us left-handers, we have some of those little tools in the arsenal.
Nice hustle there, getting on the ground and not able to come away with it.
It's really one of the first times you see a lot of people scrambling for the ball. Nice play by Dockery as she came down, and I like the fact that rather than forcing it inside, she pulled up from about 8 feet on that 45-degree angle, and once again, John woodened it off the board using. I like that bank shot.
Woohoo! Nice pass once again. Chibagwu looking for Bickerstaff, can't complete the play ultimately. 3 ball up in the air, hits it! Groening!
Both Chibagwu and Bickerstaff walking back down the court, looking like they have a little bit of fatigue going on. So one of the things that is happening, the Vikings have been pushing the tempo, and that may pay some dividends here.
Surprises me because it feels as though the Trojans are doing a lot more. A nice job by Bickerstaff down low, coming up with a rebound, a couple dribbles, and laying it up and in. Seems like they've been rotating players in and out more, so you'd think that perhaps it would be the other way around. That's not the case, as Emily Allen getting on the board for the first time tonight. Big Bend 54-52 lead with 5:58 to go.
I believe that was Martinez that came back with the layup as they stood around watching on defense, but man, when they get the ball, off they go.
So we're going to get a full timeout, and we'll take a quick break. 54-52 Big Bend. You're watching STSPN.com.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a Guard engineer.
I'm Danny Horton, and I'm an STCU member. The windstorm of 2015, who doesn't remember that? It had no power for the heaters. The horse trough was a 600-pound block of ice. STCU stepped up. I went straight down. I got the loan I needed. If it hadn't been for STCU and the ability to provide everything I needed, where would I have been? I'm Danny Horton, and STCU is here for good.
Facebook and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. That's nwacsports.org. Social media guy Mike, do you enjoy the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebooks of the world?
Let me think about that. No.
Figured you weren't.
Not much. I have a Facebook account, but I'm on it very rarely.
Oh, well, I, for one, have definitely used the NWAC, the Twitter handle for me more than anything. I know they do a nice job of running the account.
I look at things that that I'm interested in on some of the friend stuff. My band has a Facebook site, so we post our shows that we have once every 2 years. So,
hey, it still helps when you get the word out, right?
That's about it, yeah.
And NWAC has certainly done a nice job to promote that. I'm sure they're doing a lot of that this week. I know they are because, again, I've been following that all throughout the day.
Moving to pass and screen away. Chibagu now at the high post, trying to get the high-low.
16-footer from Chibagu rims that one down. Uju now with 16 points here tonight, 54-54. Neither team letting the other one get the best of them. Nice block there. That's number 44. Cassandra Jackson getting her first action of the night. Bickerstaff, as she's going out of bounds, flips it back behind her, back in bounds. Unfortunately, right to a Big Bend player. That was Martinez to Groning. Nice pass over to Emily Allen. She gets the easy bucket, her fourth point here in the quarter.
And up and down the floor we go. Both teams running the transition. By the same token, they are not getting back and picking up on defensively. So been an offense fest so far.
Chibagu for three. 7 points in the third quarter, 19 on the night. Once again puts Everett back in the lead, 57-56. Wasting very little time. Martinez says, I'll see your three and take this lead right back. Her third tray of the game. She now has 11, and here we go, Mike.
Well, we were tied at 54, and one of my high school players used to say, Coach, first one to 54 wins the game. I can tell you that in high school, and that's certainly not the case here.
Doherty steal, easy layup.
Jackson didn't step to the ball. When the ball is passed to you, you must make a move and step toward the basketball, or quick players will go get it. That's the case there.
You know, I keep looking at that shot clock, and I'm thinking to myself, we really don't even need it at this point. Neither team is even coming close to using it. Chibagu, long three, left it short. Out of bounds, and Big Bend with a 4-point lead has a chance to expand upon that right now with 4:09 left. And I think at this point, Everett decides they need a timeout. We'll take another quick break. You're watching STSPN.com NWAC basketball.
Yo, ready to play?
Washington National Guard. We are neighbors helping neighbors through a tradition of service with more than 6,000 citizen soldiers, which comprise our ranks throughout Washington State. Guardsmen faithfully safeguard lives and property at home and abroad. National Guard soldiers and readiness centers are an integral part of Washington State's communities and will continue to be for generations to come. To learn more about the Washington National Guard, visit nationalguard.com or call 1-800-GO-GUARD. Back here at the Walt Price Center in Everett at Everett Community College. The host team being more than generous to the Vikings right now as Big Bend trailed early on in the third quarter. They're now out to a 4-point lead and looking for more as they will be heading to the free throw line with 2 attempts coming up.
Now that should have been a jump ball call. Look at Coach Hobby over there as he's asking. And the only contact was with the ball. That should have been a jump ball. That's going to be called, I believe, on, or they might have called it on Cassandra Jackson.
They did. Jackson's first foul. Garrity steps to the line.
And Garrity, I think you were saying that she was just a 40-something% shooter, and she's been solid at the line tonight. I think she's only missed one, and this is about, her seventh and eighth shot from the line tonight, perhaps?
Yeah, she is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's 5 for 6 going into this shot. Make that 5 for 7. You just jinxed her.
Yeah, the announcer jinx. I thought about that.
She had a nice little streak. She had made 4 in a row before that, but you're right. She's 42.7% on the year. So Big Ben now out to a 5-point lead. And it seems as though every time one of these teams jumps out to a 4 or 5-point lead, the other one comes right back. Perhaps we just jinxed the Trojans on that play as they missed the shot. Groning getting the ball ahead of her, loses it, just flips it up into the air, but draws contact, and she'll head to the line.
Yeah, Groning in there with the talls down at the other end, fights for it, comes away with the rebound, and just kept going all the way down. Kind of stumbled her way through the key there and then ended up with some inadvertent contact and wisely threw the ball up, and now she's at the line for 2.
Yeah, that ball was about 12 feet in front of her as she was heading east there. The ball was almost in Snohomish, and she was in Everett as she's able to retrieve the ball. Misses the first free throw attempt.
And, yeah, looking at the free throw totals in the first half here, so 5 for – of course, they give you in a number 5 font so that you can't read. Is that 5 for 9?
Oh, it looks like it's 8 for 9.
8 for 9 in the first half, 5 for 7 for Everett. Oh, wide open, Matador defense and missed the shot.
Yeah, Bear finding a nice opening there, just couldn't make the basket. And as I'm trying to do the math here myself right now, we are right now at 4 for 8 for the third quarter for Big Ben. So yeah, struggling a little bit at the line, but nonetheless, outscoring Everett so far by 8 points this quarter, and they now have a 6-point lead.
And I was
wondering. Here it could be even bigger now. Missing the shot is Doherty.
I was wondering if Everett might extend pressure, and there's another big rebound there and a foul called.
And for a moment there, I thought Chibagu had gotten away with it. They didn't whistle it right away, and sure enough, it finally comes late as Doherty definitely getting hammered as she went into the lane.
Haley Garrity doing a good job of fighting for the rebound and finding her teammate on the other side, Doherty, who misses the line, and that is going to be the 4th foul on number 51, Chibagu. So it was a different game in the second quarter when she was out of action in foul trouble. So
really cannot afford to lose her right now as Doherty hits the second free throw attempt. Big Ben with their largest lead of the night at 7. Not only do they have their largest lead, Everett is now without their leading scorer / leading rebounder.
That's an interesting call. The defender did not see the ball and had some contact on that back cut from the wing. I like the pass. We were taught by Dale Bollinger, our assistant coach at Highline, if the defender's not looking, he threw whiz it right by their ear there. And
every once in a while you get a play like that. Bickerstaff, ball goes behind her. Doherty coming away with it, kicks it ahead. Over to Martinez for 3, left it well short. Grabbing that one out of thin air is Edwards. Big Ben was thinking about a double-digit lead. That would have been the first one of the game for either team if that had gone in. Sydney Taggart looking for a cutting Lopez, and Lopez put on the brakes, and the ball goes out of bounds, and Everett just looks out of sequence right now.
Yeah, it hit a Big Bend player as Lopez zigged when she should have zagged, and so break for Everett. And Everett has a little more quickness now, though, on the floor, so it might allow them to change some defense. And Lopez trying to get it, threw it to the wrong half of the post player Taggart, because you only get half a player to throw it to usually. It's not very often that a player will stand behind the post player, and you pick the half. You want to throw it away from the defender, and she didn't do that.
And fortunately for her, she got a favorable bounce. Unfortunately for her, the player she decided to pass it to afterwards was Edwards, and she traveled with it. So Big Bend with the basketball. 2:22 to go, third quarter.
A lot of turnovers in the game, but there's a lot of possessions as well, as neither team is taking much time off the shot clock before the ball goes up. So
Strom back in the game. Maggie Strom, number 13. Spin move by Groningen, kicks it out, leaving Allen wide open. She drains the three. Emily Allen did not have a single point in the first half. She has 7 here in the quarter, and Big Bend now has a 10-point lead as Bickerstaff misses on the other end. And if the Trojans aren't careful, this game's going to get out of hand very quickly, as Big Bend just seems to be able to click on all cylinders right now. Groningen getting that ball knocked away out of bounds.
And the difference between those is that Big Bend came down and ran some offense, ran that old school weave, got into the key, kicked it back out. 3 or 4 different players touched the ball, whereas for Everett, they simply passed the ball and the first player that caught it shot it. So you do want to share the basketball. It helps create openings and pathways for rebounding as well.
Garrity's shot appears to have slipped out of her hands, goes out of bounds. Everett basketball. It almost appears right now as though the Trojans they don't even look comfortable in offense. It almost is as though the players don't want to shoot it. They almost are trying to get it out of their hands as quickly as they can. It's hot potato, and I don't want to shoot it. You shoot it, and consequently we're seeing turnovers.
Not only that, they run so much of their offense through as Taggart gets a nice pass from Bickerstaff and hits a 15-footer, but they run so much of their offense through Chibagwu that when she's on the bench, they have to find another way to get the job done.
We're going to get a foul called away from the ball. So Big Bend, who had 41 points at the half, they have 67 right now, so 26 points this quarter to go along with the 24 they had in the second quarter. Everett, meanwhile, with only 16 points in the quarter.
And that's what I was talking about the many different possessions that's going it will increase the turnovers, but if you are shooting well, it's also going to increase the points. And Big Bend has it all going right now as they're getting the calls when they attack the hoop, and they're doing a good job of sharing the basketball, dribble penetration, kicking the passes out for the three-pointers, attacking the rim. And Everett is in some serious foul trouble here. And overall, now with the lead at 10, the momentum has definitely swung the way of the Vikings.
Indeed it has. As Martinez, one of the leading scorers for this team during the season, 13.3 points per game. Bear misses the shot. Martinez has very quietly, I feel, put up her points tonight. She has 13 points, and it doesn't seem like she has 13.
Once again, no passing for the Trojans as they come down. Everything done one player off the dribble and has to take a tough shot as the Vikings play good defense, and here they are sharing the ball.
Martinez missing the long three. Groningen getting in there and getting the rebound.
And a couple of players for Everett standing out there in no man's land watching to see what's going to happen. And if you stand and watch, bad things are going to happen. You have to go get the rebound, help your team out, and now last shot opportunity for the Vikings.
They will, in fact, wait for it. There's about a 0.2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. We're down to 8 seconds right now. Finding an opening in the lane and trying to take advantage of it was Garrity. Misses it. Down to 3 seconds to go. Long three ball coming up. It's good! Count it! Nakia Edwards hadn't been on the board all night, and she picked a great time to do so. 32, 35-footer thereabouts. And cuts the Big Bend lead down to 7 as time expires in the third quarter. Perhaps Everett's not ready to go away just quite yet. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you for the last 10 minutes of this game. It's not over, folks. Don't go anywhere. You are watching NWAC basketball on STSPN.com.
school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Spokane Teachers Credit Union, STCU, congratulates the athletes, coaches, and fans enjoying today's matchups. As the financial corporate funding by teachers, we salute your efforts on the court and in the classroom. Students, workers, and residents of Washington are invited to join our not-for-profit credit union, Spokane Teachers Credit Union. And Mike, you were bringing up a great point to me as we went to the quarter break there. Chance missed by Big Bend. If they had been able to make that layup, what did you see? What could have been a huge point swing at that point?
Well, it would have made it a dozen. A foul just got called out on the court. But a couple of points that you look for, they were up 10. And as a coach, there's a couple of momentum points that I look at. One is that 10-7, meaning you're up 10 and give up a 3. Now it's 7 and you're giving the other team hope. The other one is the 7-4. You're down 7, things are getting away from you. You hit a 3 and now you're back 4. Just mentally that gives you a little hope as both free throws go. And instead, Big Bend had an opportunity to score the layup, get the ball back, and score again as they just did. But
especially on a play, because if you make that layup, the clock basically ticks off a couple more seconds, and Edwards never gets that look, right?
Right, and Edwards does hit the 3. And so, again, a little bit, look at the numbers again for Big Bend. Long shot.
We will definitely see if those points come back and haunt them later on in the game. Right now, they still have a 9-point lead with 9:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. A lot of contact down low as we wait to see what the call is.
And that momentum spirit, it's such a fickle thing, and it's hard to describe. But you can, when the momentum changes, you can definitely feel it. And so, part of the whole game is trying to get those runs, and Big Bend has the momentum right now.
Nakia Edwards getting called for her second foul.
And there is a defensive switch as the zone defense is being played, but Everett failing to block out, and finally they corral the rebound.
And they had a shot at a Martinez 3, missed it. Allen then missed a shot on the offensive board. Everett wasting little time, coming down and draining the basket is Lopez.
Yeah, gets to that.
Tyra Lopez now with 12.
Gets to that right elbow, which is a move that we look for a lot in our high school program. She came through basically the same program in offense, and that's going to be automatic for her. Scored over 1,000 points in her high school career there.
Groening driving towards the hoop. Ashley Beer able to get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds. 7-point game. Chibagu is in the game with 4 fouls, as is Bickerstaff with 4.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a gamble, but you know what? If you don't get this one, you're done. So sometimes you're going to have to gamble with a little bit of that, and that might be one reason why they're playing the zone right now as well.
Groening, right side, flips it up, misses it. Offensive board for Doherty. Fadeaway shot as she knows she has to over Chibagu, gets it to go.
The guards in the 2-3 have to come back and help out with those middle-of-the-key rebounds. They're standing and watching for Everett, and that's just not going to get it done. They're giving up too many offensive rebounds right now.
Missed shot by Everett on the other end. Big Bend. Allen, left side layup. Good. Allen really coming alive here in the second half. 11 points, giving Big Bend an 11-point lead. We should mention, too, and I apologize for not knowing the answer to this. We are broadcasting from up in the rafters here as Chibagu gets into the lane. I'm going to say before the shot, she traveled. A turnover. I was noticing this just a little while ago. A lineup change tonight. Big Bend, Miranda Johnson, who played 34 minutes last night and who's been one of the 2 leading scorers for Big Bend all year, not playing tonight. However, they haven't needed her so far, so we'll try to get more information on that at some point. But, yeah, she has not played a single minute tonight.
Chibagu using the Euro step down at the other end and got called for a travel, and now we have a touch foul called on Big Bend. But, boy, everything for the most part going the way of the Vikings.
11-point lead with 7:39 to go as they're getting that much closer to potentially punching a ticket into the Final Four.
Well, from a high school point of view, you were 30 seconds gone in the fourth quarter, so that's one way to look at it.
And they're going to count the basket. Initially, Chibagwu looks at the referee as though to say, wait, you're going to call me for that? And then she realized, no, she got the call her way. She gets the basket and will head to the line for the and one. Foul is picked up by number 22, Granny.
I will be willing to wager that she doesn't say and one.
She's going to let the referee say that from here on out tonight, right? As Aloha Salem checks back into the game.
That double-digit lead is just such a mental barrier that you have to try to break through, and that's one of the reasons why I mentioned the 10-7 as came in from out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover, another opportunity here for Everett.
One of those rare times when missing a free throw works to your advantage. It's Chibagwu missing the free throw. The ball bounces around, and Everett now with a chance to potentially have a 4 or 5 point play. Chibagwu spin moves, leaves it short. Ball bounces around. Allen finally comes away with it.
And I think she was trying to draw the foul on that a little bit, anticipated some contact, and it never really showed up. So
didn't get the foul or the basket. Fortunately for her, Allen gives her a little bit of a quote-unquote bailout. Taking the quick three on the other end, missing it. Bickerstaff wide open. Just left it a little short, hits off the front iron. Here comes Big Bend. Vikings with a 2-on-1. Gronding has it go off the lower part of her leg, bounces away. Lopez kicks it ahead. Bickerstaff trying to get it into the lane. Fortunate to get that pass batted right back to her. Lopez for three! Misses. Ashley Beer with the hustle, not able to come away with it. And Big Bend with 6:39 to go will take over the possession.
Wild sequence of plays there for both teams, and both teams come up empty there. I thought that the last transition by the Vikings looked like trouble for Everett because it was Chibagwu back 2-on-1, and she was the defender. She has a habit of trying to lean in and reach. She has 4 fouls. She's got to be very careful.
Big Bend taking their time. Nice job of getting a hand on that ball was Lopez, knocking it out of bounds.
They're running that little loop on the side where you get 4 out and a high post screen, and you reverse the ball, and the person on the far side then cuts off that high post screen. Well defended by Everett that time. Everett does not pick up on the out-of-bounds play. Chibagwu, nice block.
Nice block indeed. Gets it ahead to Beer. Beer 2-on-2, right side, puts it up. Count the bucket, and she'll head to the line.
And remember when I talked about the momentum goddess and how fickle it can be, and all of a sudden you're starting to get the crowd energized a little bit. You got the lead back down under 10 for Everett, and so it's now an opportunity for the Big Bend Vikings coach, Preston Wilkes, to have to figure out what he's going to do to stop this little run by Everett.
Beer hitting the free throw. 7 points on the night for the Stanwood product. 6-point Big Bend lead. Bickerstaff trying to sneak in from behind to knock it away. Doherty feels her coming, passes the ball around. Allen into the lane, layup good. That's how you stop some of the bleeding right there. Emily Allen continues to have a masterful second half, 13 points in the half. Lopez on the other end, spin move, rolls off. Martinez grabs it, kicks it ahead to Allen, looking for yet another basket. Good!
And as quickly as the momentum went one way, it went back. Dribble penetration, killing the Trojans right now. The fans wanting a 3-second call down at the other end, but here comes Lopez.
Lopez, third tray of the night, 79-72. We mentioned it before, neither one of these teams, whenever they've fallen behind, neither one wanting to go away. They know that their playoff lives are on the line. Their season is on the line tonight.
Still over 5 minutes to go. Obviously, this game's going to end up in the 80s.
Allen over to Martinez. Behind the back pass. Had the right idea, just couldn't connect, and that was a intended pass for Garrity. And I'm thinking as a coach, Mike, you probably don't like to see that. If it works, it looks beautiful. If it doesn't, then you're left with your hands in the air going, what were you doing?
Well, when I played in high school, I loved it. When I coached, I hated it. The photographer underneath wide open, and he's not playing though, so that's a turnover.
Chibagwu steps out for the three. Off the front iron, doing a nice job by getting the rebound as Bear misses the second shot. Ashley with a hustle rebound on that play. Now doing a nice job of putting a little pressure in the backcourt. Allen, left to right, kicks over to Groning, misses the three ball off the front iron. Chibagwu flips that ahead to her teammate, and all of a sudden Everett now once again down by 7 with a chance to get it down a little more. Count the basket!
Yeah,
Tyra Lopez, a little leaner, gets a little body contact, puts it up, floats it in, and she could make this a 4-point game with this free throw attempt.
Well, as I mentioned, Lopez, a scorer when she was in high school at Burlington Edison, can be a spot-up shooter and take it off the dribble, and that was left-handed. Has the lead back down to 9, back and forth we go. This has been an outstanding game from a spectator point of view. Back and forth, I love it.
And we're going to take a quick break. You're watching STSPN.com.
Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
Pierce College, celebrating 50 years of possibilities realized. Pierce College is here to guide you to student success. With more than 60 programs of study at Pierce College, there's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule, including short-term certification programs, transfer degrees, and even baccalaureate degrees. Pierce provides flexible degree options to help you on your path. Your pathway is clear at Pierce College. Mike Buchholz.
Pierce College trivia for you.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Pierce College, before it was Pierce College, was known as what?
Pierce Community College.
Fort Steilacoom is the correct answer.
I was so close.
Yeah, you were.
I went with the Bellevue Community College / Bellevue College approach, and it didn't work.
All right, here we go.
Well, here we go indeed. We've got ourselves a game all of a sudden. This was double digits just about 90 seconds ago of action, and now it's a 5-point game.
Well, that is also one of the downsides of playing up-tempo all of the time. How big of a lead is big enough? And so the danger is, well, you slow it down and take away your momentum, or you keep pushing the tempo and pushing the tempo. And if the other team's able to come back, then here you go with an opportunity for a three-point play, which, of course, we jinx Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez hits it off the front iron, misses it, 4:24 left.
Still a lot of time, 5-point lead for Big Bend, and let's see what they've come up with out of their timeout.
Martinez guarded very closely. Groning gets it picked. Number 32, Beer. 1-on-0, lays it up. Count it! Ashley Beer.
A former Stanwood Spartan coming up with a big defensive play right there, and now it's time for the Vikings to be a little bit flustered as the lead is now just 3.
Beer playing the role of Energizer Bunny on that play, doing all the work herself. Ball goes through the legs of Garrity. Big Ben got away with one there. They're fortunate that it went right to one of their other players. Martinez back to Garrity. Into the lane. Chibagwu steps up, gets a hand on it. Late whistle.
And I believe, well, what can you say there, as we've had some of those, as my assistant coach Stan Nelson used to say, call the stuff that matters. And 79-76, was that a play that affected it? I don't know. It doesn't matter, though. The foul has been called. Garrity going to go to the free throw line, and Chibagwu is going to have a seat.
Give credit where credit is due. Garrity did do a nice job of leaning into that shot, and more often than not, if you're in fact doing that and it is close, the referee will give you the benefit of the doubt. We couldn't, up here it's a little bit hard to tell. There may or may not have been contact, but certainly if Garrity's not leaning into it, that ball is just flat out blocked and it's going the other way.
Well, you know, I guess part of the question is that has that contact been consistently called all game? If they've called it all game, then that's a call that they're making all game. Garrity she's been in there battling all game long. She's done a nice job inside, but things are, the crowd's firing up right now. That little home court advantage for Everett as she goes 2 and out at the line.
We talked about it earlier, her being a 42% free throw shooter. She's missed her last 3 now. The question now becomes, does that Chibagwu technical foul earlier come back and haunt her? Bickerstaff for 3. That was for a chance to tie. Beer with a nice rebound. Taggart looking down low, forced the pass, picked off by Allen. She read that one beautifully.
Well, the technical foul has already come back and haunted her because she's on the bench.
Well, that's what I mean.
Isn't going to play anymore.
I wasn't even talking about in terms of points, in terms of that she's not in. And as you questioned earlier, it may not have even been a technical that should have been called, depending on what may or may not have been said as Doherty gets down low. Nice job for the Vikings there to potentially take back some of this momentum. They now have a 5-point lead, 2:55 left in the game.
Doherty is just sweet on that spin move. She'll spin once or twice through there and keeps her composure.
Beard's three misses. Taggart had it momentarily. Ball bounces around, scrambling for it. Allen and Beard both on the ground.
And there's a rugby scrum. Coach calls timeout. By coach, we're talking about Preston Wilkes, the coach of the Big Bend Vikings, very alertly helping his team out to save the possession.
Yeah, and, Preston Wilkes, he was about halfway out onto the court. As a coach, do you like that rule? Because I know one of our colleagues, Tom Lafferty, he and I talk about it a lot. He cannot stand the fact that players are allowed to call that timeout, or the coach can jump out from the floor and call a timeout when the ball is loose and they get their hand on it momentarily. Do you have an issue with that particular rule, or would you rather see it go away?
I like the rule. One of the things that I did, you get 5 timeouts in a game, and we would practice timeout situations in practice, and I gave my players 2 timeouts. And basically what that meant was you get 2 timeouts if you need a timeout, and we would practice situations where they would do that. And I would never tell a player you shouldn't have called timeout there. If you felt like you needed a timeout to save a possession, then you had the liberty to do that. Now, I, of course, could take it back if we needed it at the end, but I got 3, my players got 2.
Interesting, okay. And the question I was putting forth was not whether or not it's a smart move by the player to make, because certainly you want them to make it and you want the coach to. I just meant the rule in general, because I think back in the day, the coach was not able to make that call. The player had to actually have enough possession where they had to make the tee. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's like the catch in football. I mean, the coach gets to call timeout. It's up to the official to decide if there's possession and they're going to grant the timeout or not. I mean, you're putting the onus on the official, but if you're quick enough to get up, as soon as you get your hands on it and you call the timeout, you get the ball, and that's what your timeouts are for.
So Big Bend wisely making that move, getting the possession, 5-point lead. 2:33 left.
Mismatch underneath, and they read it, and it is Doherty inside, but nice double team.
Groening for 3, hits it!
Big Bend exploits that as Aloha Salem had to switch off on the taller Doherty, and she got inside. Everybody had to help, and she kicked it out, finding the open 3-ball shooter, and that was a big shot.
Groening now with 22 points here on the night. None bigger than that last 3 right there. 8-point lead, 2:02 left. Salem trying to answer on the other end, misses it. Groening comes away with the rebound, very wisely pulls back. Time is on their side right now, and if you don't have an open look, why force it?
And that is a good call as Doherty comes up and moves on the screen and clips Aloha Salem. Now, the last time down, Everett ran a set play trying to get Lopez a 3-pointer, running in through a double screen at the free throw line, coming to the top, well defended, and the ball was kicked off to Aloha Salem. But whatever their best 3-point play is right now, Everett needs to run it.
And Mike, as a coach, that's got to be just so frustrating. You're trying to eat up time off that clock, and with 30 seconds left on the shot clock, you commit an offensive foul and you give them the ball right back.
Yeah, it's a problem. And, you know, one of the things you want to stress is don't give the official an opportunity to make a foul or to make a call, because they'll make it.
Bickerstaff, nice pass down low to Taggart. Just couldn't quite make the basket. Gets bailed out as one of the Viking players knocks it out of bounds. 1:28 to go here in the fourth quarter, and Everett needs a basket, and they need it quick.
You know, if it's a critical time and a little bit of moving screen underneath the basket is a little bit different than out 25 feet from the basket, and you have the ball and the lead. So,
Big Bend, who hadn't even been in this tournament since 2003, looking as though they're getting ever so close to punching that ticket into the Final Four. Shot is missed. Lopez gets her own board, puts it in, makes it a 6-point game with 1:12 remaining.
And nicely done right away. Coach anticipating that, calling timeout, going to come and set up some full court pressure. Only 3 fouls on Everett. They have fouls to give, so they're going to come out and go for the steal and foul immediately if they don't get it.
And that's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll go ahead and keep it right here. Again, we mentioned Big Bend has not been in this tournament since 2003. And a team that is getting very close to getting back there once again. They took second place 15 years ago. That was a tournament that was played at the Tri-City Coliseum. The year before that, 2002, they actually were the NWAC champions.
And Everett has had a long storied history of not really being in the championship. If memory serves me, they lost in '83 in the championship, so you might have that information there.
I sure do. They actually took third that year. Spokane Falls and Highline. Let's see. You were off by 1 year. They 1982 lost to Highline in the championship game.
Yeah, Dale Bollinger was the coach at Highline there. He coached my assistant coach when I played for Highline back in the 70s.
Very nice. Pass goes out of bounds. That's exactly what the Trojans needed. No time off the clock. Still looking at 72 ticks left, down by 6.
Going for the steal, or I should say the turnover, and they hucked it out of bounds. So another opportunity here for Everett. There's still plenty of time. Don't need to panic, but you want to play with some urgency.
Bickerstaff to Taggart, back to Bickerstaff, cutting into the lane, misses the shot.
Should have fouled right there immediately. You have fouls to give, and you are now under a minute, and you need to know that. And so they just ran about 10 seconds off the clock. Clock, obviously the enemy of the Everett Trojans.
And you were absolutely right. There's 53.2 left. There was about a minute 2, minute 3 when that shot was missed. And that's valuable time that Everett really can't afford to give up right now.
And these are situations that you need to practice so that your kids know what to do. So in that situation, look, you miss a shot and there's a rebound, you go hack them. You go try to steal the ball and hack them and stop the clock.
Kind of surprised that they had Beer out on the guard there right now. She just picks up her 4th foul. You know you've got a hack. I think maybe you'd almost bring a player in off the bench and have them get one of those fouls. Now she's at 4 fouls. Bickerstaff's also at 4 fouls. You've already lost Chibagwu for the evening.
Well, you're going to be on offense back here in a minute, so you can go offense, defense, depending on the situation that happens here. And that situation is Callie Groning just ice at the line.
23 points tonight for Groning. Oh, misses that shot. Taggart comes away with the rebound.
Yeah, but didn't come up empty. 1 point's good there for the Vikings. And
Aloha.
Too much
dribble.
Oh,
almost lost it there. Gets it over to Bickerstaff. Left side, driving in, puts up a shot, misses it. Gets bailed out. She's going to head to the line for 2. Probably not the play that coach had diagrammed out on the sideline, right?
Well, I'm not sure what they diagrammed, because what happened is you have all 5 players standing outside the 3-point line, and they're just dribbling, looking for something. Nobody screening, nobody cutting, and so nice take by Bickerstaff. Claude does stop the clock.
Foul is on Martinez, her 2nd, and she misses the first free throw attempt.
31-5. And you are down 7. That's definitely a 3-possession game.
This is a young Everett team. Kind of looking at the roster here. 5 sophomores. The rest of the team is freshmen. You do lose Chibagwu. You lose Bickerstaff. You lose Lopez. So a lot of scoring there. But nonetheless, a team that's getting some valuable tournament experience, even if they're not able to come back.
Well, here you have a 30-second timeout, and you have a 6-point lead. So obviously, Everett is going to have to score. I'm sure Coach is going to review something that they have worked on before. Check in with the officials, want to make sure he knows where the ball is being taken out. I've been surprised by that before, thinking the ball was going to be in one spot. And you come down now, you run your special play. Now we're in college, so when they get to 6, that's when they're shooting the 1-and-1. Is that correct? So you want to get the ball. I think that's correct. So you want to get the ball to your best 1 or 2 free throw shooters here.
I want to remind everyone that coming up after this game, about 20 minutes after the final whistle, Walla Walla versus Lane in one of the other quarterfinal games. Those 2 teams, by the way.
And look for the back door around the backside.
See what happens as we get the foul. Those 2 teams, by the way, Lane and Walla Walla, in the last rankings were ranked 2nd and 3rd in NWAC. So really a battle of the Titans in an Elite 8 game. So that should be fun. So certainly whatever happens here, we want folks to tune back in and watch that game in about 20 minutes, as we will get 2 free throw attempts coming up here as Big Bend attempts to ice this game.
There you go, multitasking again. You caught me off guard. For a moment, I didn't know what you were talking about. As Haley Garrity has, stepped up and quietly had a very solid night tonight. She hasn't been perfect by any means at the foul line, but she has been steady and made enough so that she's had definitely a positive impact on the game.
She makes 1 of 2 there, 7-point lead. Edwards 3 ball, Tried to use the backboard and misses it. Rebound comes down to the Vikings. Martinez gets it ahead. Groning pulls back, and with 22.3 seconds left, she'll head to the line and trying to build on that 7-point lead that Big Bend already has as they're getting ever so much closer to heading to the semis.
How many points does Emily Allen have, out of curiosity there?
Emily Allen right now, let's see, we have her down for 15, all of which have come in the second half.
Oh, that's right. We have that scoreboard over there.
It's a nice cheat sheet, right?
Yeah, you're the the scoreboard I rely upon.
She has 7 points in the third quarter and 8 in the fourth quarter. So,
well, the reason I mentioned that is that the two young ladies both wearing those similar headbands, and they have they've been having fun out there. They've been slapping hands and smiling and looking for each other out on the court. And
the thing about Allen is that she did not start yesterday's game. That was the game that was started by Miranda Johnson, who's not playing tonight. Allen averages 7.4 points per game on the year, so for her to come out and have 15 in one half, and don't forget either, they were down by 2 at halftime, so she's been a vital part of what's led to this, what looks to be a victory here, as long three is missed. 8-point lead, 12 seconds to go. Big Ben trying to dribble it out, and Sydney Taggart says, no, I'm not done playing just quite yet.
Not on my home court here, just quite yet. We're gonna make you go to the line and earn it all the way here. So.
Like we pointed out too, Taggart, she gets no rest for the weary, they say. She's going to be probably hopping back onto the softball field and getting ready for the Trojan season tomorrow. A two-sport athlete here at Everett CC.
And we have a couple of substitutes coming in here, give an opportunity for some of the sophomores to get a round of applause. You know, it's always so tough to come up with those playoff losses. It's, you know, when it happens, and the suddenness of, saw some tears out in the hallway earlier. Lower Columbia taking the loss hard. You've done a lot of work over the course of the whole season, and here comes 5 players in off the bench, and it's that the old thrill of victory, agony, defeat, and a lot of emotion. It's an emotionally charged game.
Indeed. So checking into the game for Big Bend, it looks like we have number 3, Bryn Drummond, number 33, Marika Jansen, number 13, which is Maggie Strom. She's already gotten a little PT tonight, so she's going to get a few more minutes here, another 9 seconds, I guess I should say. Checking into the game for Everett, getting their first action. Number 30, Megan Thomas from Cascade High School right down the street in Everett. And then number 50, Marina Alber from Langley, Washington, South Woodby High School, school that you know fairly well, the Falcons.
I know a little bit, competed against them.
Shot goes up in the air. Good if it counts. It doesn't, and it doesn't even matter. Big Bend is heading to the Final Four. They have defeated Everett 89-79. They advance into the semifinals, which will be played. You look at your fingers there, Mike. Sorry about that. 8 p.m. next Saturday night right here at Everett Community College. Opponent will again be either Walla Walla or Lane. The other two teams that have already punched their tickets into the Final Four earlier today, Umpqua and Bellevue. So Big Bend joins the two of them, and we've got one more to come. Again, a 20-minute break coming up before Walla Walla and Lane. Battle of two very good programs, two teams that know a thing or two about winning games. So we're going to take a break right now. We're going to sign off for a few minutes, and when we come back, we'll get that second game. Mike, any last thoughts on this game before we go? Big Bend, congratulations to them. It's been a while since they've been in the dance, and they brought their dance shoes.
They did. They did a nice job of weathering the storm. Was back and forth. It was close. That one momentum switch allowed them to get that double-figure lead, and Everett made a couple of runs, but kept their composure and held on, made enough free throws, enough plays down at the end of the game. They did a nice job.
So nice job indeed. So we will see how they do next week, but before that, we will see how Lane and Walla Walla can do. Again, we're going to sign off, and we'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes. You're watching STSPN.com.